Watch out for Barron's date, Barron Trump. 6'8", towers above the throng. He didn't startle the web with his height. October 2024 photos showed him with an unidentified woman. Some thought she was a Czech model. Some whispered her regal lineage. His father shockingly said, "I don't believe he's ever had a girlfriend. Who was this mysterious figure? Why did major news outlets cover it? How did she disappear overnight?" Barron's amorous past is stranger than fiction. The tale started suddenly. Melania announced her pregnancy to Donald Trump months after their lavish beach wedding. August 2005. He barely entered when she announced. His reply, complete amazement. Having kids was his dream, but the timing surprised him. He then admitted he always wanted children with Melania. Just not this soon. Donald had 4 children at 59. Donald Jr., 28. Ivanka, 24. Eric, 22. Tiffany, 12. Barron's birth caused 13 30-year sibling age gaps. Barron would grow up as a quasi-only child. Then naming began. Barron wasn't picked randomly. Trump used John Barron in media for years. His alias let him embellish successes, avoid controversies, and increase his wealth. The constant Barron calls became newsroom fun, journalists joked. He admitted occasionally using the name under oath in 1990. Thus, while named his kid Barron, it symbolized an inheritance and reverence to his manufactured identity as wealthier, stronger, and more prominent. This imaginary character became real. Barron William Trump arrived at 5 a.m. on March 20th, 2006, weighing 8 pounds 7 ounces. In seconds, Donald broadcast the birth on TV. "I create children. It keeps me young," bragged. His absence from the birth room was supposed to ease Melania's experience. She labored alone for the first time. Donald told media the baby was beautiful. Mother too. Barron made his debut, half baby, half ad. Barron inherited more than wealth, entering a sealed universe. He grew up in the Trump Tower triplex, a 3-story 11,000 square foot area. He had his own kitchen, living room, and nanny quarters on a full floor. Instead of a nursery, it was a toddler-sized luxury condo. One story was his alone. Private kitchen, living room, and nanny quarters. A nursery wasn't there. A kid-sized luxurious apartment. Gifts poured in like royalty. He received a gold crystal chandelier baby carriage from Ellen DeGeneres. Barbara Walters sent a stuffed dog. Gayle King added a large green frog. By 4, Barron drove a toy Mercedes with his name on the plate. Central Park outside his window, stretched below and down the elevator, his father's office. His cultural world was just as unusual. Melania, born in Slovenia, made sure Barron spoke her native language by age 4. Even the host noticed he had an accent on Larry King Live. Melania nodded. "He mostly spends his time with me by then." Barron was fluent in 3 languages. Donald called him the smart one. He wasn't just rich, he was international. He was an isolated child raised in a penthouse, speaking 3 languages, and surrounded by grown-ups. Melania didn't just watch him, she handled everything. She called him Mini Donald for his appearance and attitude. She outfitted him in suits. He didn't wear sweatpants, she said. He liked ties. He liked dad-likeness. She demanded he finish the school year at Columbia Grammar in Manhattan before transferring to the White House, despite the millions in security. She carefully created his environment to avoid disrupting it. Set the rules. She chose teachers. She chose buddies. A perfect son would be hers. Son would be president. Barron echoed his father in unsettling ways. At 5, he swung golf clubs and talked about constructing. Melania claimed he liked building. Demolish, then build again. It sounded like Donald. His speech habits matched. On election night 2024, Barron startled audiences with his speech. He sounded like his dad. He even repeated phrases. "It's lovely," he repeated. The voice, confidence, and flair were there. One story stuck out. Barron may have made a joke during Mar-a-Lago dinner. Someone mentioned silver spoons. "Who would eat with a silver spoon?" Barron said. "Mine was gold." He wasn't sarcastic. He meant it. That was his norm. School was also exclusive. Barron attended New York's top private school, Columbia Grammar. The annual tuition was above $40,000. It wasn't just classes. It concerned the firm millionaire kids, celebrities, and future leaders. Barron accomplished something no other 11-year-old could in 2017. He organized a class White House visit. 80 students were escorted by the Secret Service. stayed in Washington hotels and had a private tour. They met his father, the president. At lunch in the White House, they heard a speech about fulfilling their potential. Barron's recollection was unique, yet it was part of who he was. Then comes the unexpected twist. Barron became an uncle as a baby. Kai, his niece, was born in May 2007, a year after him. He was her uncle technically. In truth, they were peers. Today Barron is 18, Kai is 17, nearly the same age. However, she's his niece. That happens when your siblings are 13, 29 years older. Your uncle and baby. Self-looping family tree. After Donald Trump became president in January 2017, many expected his family to move into the White House immediately. Neither did Melania and Barron Trump. They spent nearly 5 months in NYC. The reason, Barron could conclude his year at Manhattan's Columbia Grammar and Preparatory School. The decision seemed straightforward and intimate on paper. It received enormous criticism and cost an absurd amount. Barron and Melania stayed at Trump Tower from January 20th until June 11, 2017. NYPD estimated their daily protection cost at $127,000. $146,000. Just local law enforcement. The Secret Service requested $60 million to protect the family. People raged. Melania had over 500,000 signatures requesting she move to the White House or pay for her security. They claimed taxpayers were paying for a personal choice that did not benefit the nation. Melania spent over $700,000 on trips in those months. It cost roughly twice what Michelle Obama spent in a year. The response was so fierce that it became one of Trump's first major scandals. Barron finally attended a Maryland school, causing another uproar. He didn't attend Sidwell Friends School, which has educated every president's child since 1986. Instead, he attended Potomac's St. Andrew's Episcopal School. A major departure from tradition. Never before had St. Andrew's entertained a presidential kid. The school was 20 miles from the White House, just 580 students. The class sizes were modest and the student-to-teacher ratio was remarkable 7:1. Tuition, $38,890 annually. Melania lauded the school's varied culture and academic excellence. But the move caused enormous logistical issues. To protect Barron's Secret Service had to change school operations. Rumors circulated despite White House efforts to keep quiet to avert demonstrations. Their announcement came in May, months before schedule. Barron moved into the White House June 11, 2017. History was made then. First presidential son to live there since 1963's John F. Kennedy Jr. At age 11, he joined a long line of presidential girls who resided at the White House but few sons. Barron's 1908 arrival introduced something new to the White House that hadn't been seen in decades. His stay ended in January 2021. His height had increased to 6 feet 7 inches by college. He was impossible to overlook at public gatherings due to his height. Barron was expected to attend White House events from a young age. One of his biggest appearances was the April 2017 Easter egg roll. Over 21,000 individuals came. Barron started the festivities by blowing the whistle on the Truman balcony with his parents. He signed military cards and mingled with guests on camera. He watched drumstick and wishbone turkeys be pardoned with his father on Thanksgiving. Appeared with Melania as a horse-drawn wagon brought a 19-foot Fraser fir tree at Christmas. A military band played with cameras around. Barron remained calm in a dark suit and white shirt despite the pressure. He rarely appeared in public, thus these moments struck out. His height was the talking point. Barron was 6'7", 6'9" inches at 18, taller than his 6'3" dad. His 5'11" mother. Several said he was still growing. Similar in height to NBA player LeBron James. Standing up at his grandmother's funeral, he was pictured over the family. Pictures went viral. It shocked people. Trump had a theory. He said Barron grew tall by eating solely his grandmother's cooking. Amalia Nav, Melania's mother, made Slovenian food at home. She took care of Barron, they said. He grew tall that way. Only her food was eaten. Though it was a beautiful family story, he told it so much that it became public. Not only did Amalia feed him, she taught him Slovenian and raised him, and even granted him Slovenian citizenship. For Trump, her cooking was more than nutritional. That's how Barron grew so tall. Barron didn't play basketball despite his size. He liked soccer. Trump regularly joked that Barron wouldn't play basketball despite his efforts. "I thought you'll be a basketball player," Trump added, and he answered, "Dad, I favor soccer." Barron, taller than Michael Jordan, picked a sport where height can be a disadvantage. Still, he succeeded. His height was compared to Peter Crouch, a famous English striker. Barron's playing technique was skilled despite his height. Barron joined DC United Academy in Washington. Not only a recreational after-school activity, this youth program was professional. At the White House, he trained hard and played middle. Wayne Rooney played for DC United then. Trump brought Rooney and Colleen to the White House and requested Rooney to train Barron. Colleen later told an unpleasant anecdote about what Trump said to Barron at the meeting, which made headlines. Barron fulfilled his dream. He played his favorite sport in Washington's heart while living in America's most famous residence. He played in formal games on the White House grounds with an Arsenal shirt. Everything changed for Barron Trump in January 2021. He fled the White House at 14 with his family, sacrificing political power for luxury. Their new home, Mar-a-Lago 17-acre Palm Beach estate. Not just any property. It included 126 rooms, 33 bathrooms, 3 bomb shelters, a golf course, spa, tennis facilities and private beach. Trump bought it for $10 million in 1985. Part of it was home, 500-member exclusive club. Barron adjusted to a weird new world of politicians, socialites and media noise. He left his former school and pals in Washington, D.C. to start a new chapter. Barron moved to Oxbridge Academy in August 2021, a tiny private school with 520 students. It cost $34,800 annually. Only 15 minutes from Mar-a-Lago, it fit the Trump's new lifestyle. The institution was created by billionaire William Koch, whose family was politically connected. That undoubtedly helped Barron get in, despite the school's stiff essay, transcript and teacher recommendation requirements. Oxbridge offered Spanish, French, Chinese and sign language courses. Barron, a sophomore, came from St. Andrews in Maryland, where tuition was $45,000, $47,000. This new school offered seclusion and top-notch academics, yet it became one of the nation's most secure high schools. The Secret Service intervened after Barron enrolled. The school had never seen anything like that. Daily agents saw him leave classrooms and follow him to the bathroom. Staff signed non-disclosure agreements, installed metal detectors and boosted surveillance. It was more than quiet defense. It altered school operations. A nearby 911 call locked down a school. Agents rushed inside classes, confirming Barron's security risk. Though the administration sought to hide it, spies were part of Oxbridge life. Barron excelled despite pressure. He enrolled as Jack to hide, yet everyone knew who he was. He never ate in the cafeteria, preferring Mar-a-Lago. Still, classmates called him intelligent and focused. He excelled in honors science and could hold his own in talks. Under pressure, he seemed fine. All at once, academia, media, security. Despite everything, he became a standout student and got into several prestigious universities. An unexpected storm overtook him as he prepared for college. Mr. Weeks, real name Dane Weeks, tweeted a supposed photo of a young Barron in Central Park in August 2024. He worked as a nanny for a Trump household and saw Barron often as a toddler. He then shockingly said Barron had killed 2 birds, 3 rabbits and 1 dog. Internet burst. Over 19 million people saw one post. It went beyond the Trumps. A viral wildfire targeted a teen. This was followed by the most unsettling claim. Mr. Weeks described Barron slapping his nanny in Central Park. He repeated it. He posted the article multiple times, adding details. He said he was there after school since he worked with Barron's classmates. The accusation was nasty and specific, and very inflammatory. Social media ran with it. Events intensified. Mr. Weeks alleged Barron had knifed someone multiple times. He even indicated Barron had been investigated for touching other boys improperly at sleepovers. Apparently, Barron flipped desks and spat on people, assaulted classmates and criticized Trump during a Christmas concert. The storylines darkened with each installment. Although some called it false, the harm was done. The internet disseminated the assertions. People started investigating Mr. Weeks. What man claimed inside access to the Trump family? Online users checked his background. There was no license, daycare, professional record, or evidence of his therapy or nanny work. Everything seemed odd. Each claim seemed wilder. Without credentials or evidence, many suspected the tale was fabricated to get attention or advance a political objective. Meanwhile, Barron faced serious choices. Donald Trump informed reporters his kid was accepted into numerous institutions. He claimed Barron was highly sought after and had extremely talented, even cited his UPenn Business School Wharton. But rumors spread. Online reports said Harvard, Stanford, and Columbia rejected Barron. No amount of Trump money could get him in, argued some. Not only could fact-checkers not corroborate it, but the gossip had taken off. Barron picked NYU's Stern School of Business, a major departure from family custom. The Trump kids attended Wharton or Georgetown for decades. Barron did things his way. Trump said we didn't do it, admitting surprise. We chose Stern. Another reason why the decision surprised. Trump publicly called New York City a declining city. Barron stayed in the city to forge his own path. No one's college life would be like him. Barron lived at Trump Tower instead of a dorm. While most students live in shared dorms and student lounges, he commuted to NYU like a businessman. Melania agreed. In a TV interview she remarked, "I respect his decision." She appreciated his brilliance, independence, and kindness. Yet admitted his situation was different from other kids. Barron took elevators in a golden skyscraper while his classmates ordered pizza in their rooms. There was even speculation that Melania would follow him to college. She zealously guarded Barron and kept him hidden. Many wondered if she influenced his decision to stay in New York. Melania may have moved if he moved to another city. This was difficult for a family surrounded by Secret Service agents and political stress. Staying put solved several issues. It let Barron study quietly. Melania stays close and the family avoids more news. Everything changed for Barron Trump on July 9, 2024. He graduated high school at 18 years old. Donald Trump introduced his youngest son during his father's rally at Doral Golf Course in Florida that night. It was Barron's first political appearance. The crowd went wild when he stood up, pumped his fist, and waved. The applause continued. It was the rally's loudest and longest standing ovation. President Trump appeared shocked. Barron may be more popular than his older brothers Don and Eric, he joked. That moment, filmed on thousands of phones, became viral in hours. Barron Trump became more than the unassuming youngest son. He was ascending, therefore people wanted to know more. Behind the scenes, something even more startling was happening. Barron went to more than events. He was shaping them. He spearheaded the podcast playbook, one of 2024's most daring campaign techniques. Insiders said Trump would ask, "Have you discussed this with Barron?" Pre-podcast appearance. His son's approval was needed. That tactic got Trump on Joe Rogan, Logan Paul, and an Aiden Ross live broadcast with approximately 600,000 views. Barron knew something most political gurus didn't. Staff were told the humor isn't the meme. Participating in the meme is the humor. He understood Gen Z, it paid off. Trump led 18 to 34-year-olds by 4 points because to this strategy. A staggering 87% of young people planned to vote. This was remarkable for a left-leaning generation. Barron received a top Florida Republican award in May 2024. He was one of 41 at-large delegates. Milwaukee GOP convention. Also chosen were Tiffany, Don Jr., and Eric, his siblings. Very huge. Delegates are frequently older and politically active. Barron, weeks from high school graduation, was chosen. The shock followed. Barron declined through his mother's workplace. He cited other obligations. Shocked commentators. No offer like this comes twice. Barron wasn't eager to seek the spotlight, but his digital impact grew as the party desired him. Trump told Fox News about Barron's IT skills in March 2025. "I shut down his laptop. After 5 minutes, Trump claimed he's back on." The simple story amused some, but campaign workers sensed there was more. Barron was well versed in memes, social media, and trends. He advised on content strategy, grasped TikTok rhythms, and knew Instagram and YouTube better than anybody else. Barron physically stood tall by 2024 election night. 6 feet 8 inches, he towered over the throng. More than his height, his strategy had made a difference. The youth podcast strategy altered everything. Donald Trump's unvarnished voice reached hundreds of millions over extensive discussions. One podcaster stated teens were fed up with lies. Trump's chaotic speech resonated. Barron promoted memes, short films, and trusted micro-influencers with small yet loyal followings. Results were confirmed via exit surveys. Trump grew with Gen Z compared to 2020. Many credited Barron with that change. He never spoke. Despite not using social media, he shaped everything. Still, not all headlines were political. Barron was rumored to be dating Czech model Clara Jones in October 2024. Several big outlets covered it. But something was odd. Photos, events, and posts were absent. Clara Jones's few images were hazy. Some doubted her existence. Then Trump spoke. "Don't think he's had a girlfriend yet," he told Patrick Bet-David. Trump rarely discussed Barron's personal life. He typically boasted about Barron's height or grades, but this time he denied dating allegations. Whether to protect his son or dispel suspicions, the message was plain. Maddie, a TikTok user, knew Barron. She claimed they were elementary school sweethearts and had authentic images of her with Barron and Donald Trump. Maddie's tale was nice and pure. Bay and Barron were her first BFs. Internet adored it. Her videos went viral. Her followers increased. A childhood crush became a media maelstrom. Little Maddie and Barron falling in love intrigued people. Despite being old, it felt authentic. Next came the strangest rumor. Spanish Princess Leonor. Trump royal match rumors swept social internet. Their viral tweet termed them a match made in heaven. Age, attractiveness, values, and prominent families were cited by supporters. Several joked about Barron becoming king of Spain. Reddit and meme pages jumped on it. No confirmation images or words from either side. But the internet didn't care. This tale was too delicious to ignore. Critics asked significant questions as these stories piled up. Why was an 18-year-old who never sought publicity dragged into unproven romance gossip? Experts said it went too far. Barron has no public Instagram. He's kept his personal life private. Rumors regarding his dating life abounded. Journalists were criticized for breaking ethics. Some cited the Murray case when a judge concluded that fame doesn't justify breaching a child's privacy. With Barron, the media often ignored those norms. Trump makes one last startling comment in March 2025. He claimed Barron's future may be in technology, not politics, in an interview. Barron studied commerce at NYU's Stern School. But Trump said his actual gift was tech. Trump recounted Barron unlocking the laptop and claimed his son was gifted. Barron had handled high-profile podcast deals and online strategies. One YouTuber, Aiden Ross livestream, had 500,000 watchers. Over 100 million individuals saw the clips later. That digital influence wasn't random. The expertise and vision began early. Barron discreetly entered business. Trump was co-founded in July 2024. Fulcher Roxburgh Capital. The Wyoming-based company targeted premium real estate. Trump won, so they disbanded it. Sources predict it will return in 2025. Will target luxury houses in Utah, Arizona, and Idaho. His partners want to attach the company to Trump. Even while studying, Barron is drawn to the family business.